Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Superstars of Wrestling Review Series for the 27th of July, or I'm sorry, the 27th of December, 1991. We are closing 1991 this week. We've got most of the first 3 months of December, or the first 3 months of 1992, easy for me to say, um, or in the archive as well that we can cover. Also, the entire remainder of 92 and the first 8 months or 7 months of 1993 available in our archive, not to mention regular modern wrestling from 2020 and the entire, as close as we can get anyway, 323, I think, episodes or 340 episodes of the world class audio here. Eventually going to have the largest audio wrestling review library on the wonders of YouTube. Anyway, in this case, the new foundation, Jim Neidhart and Owen Hart, are your members for today. Obviously, the Anvil needing something to do. Owen Hart, new to the company in his actual name, of course, having the Blue Blazer run for maybe a year, something like that, 88 to 89. Anyway, good double team moves by Hart and Neidhart. Uh, Kicks and the like. Owen Hart, obviously one of my favorite all-time wrestlers. I think it's Brian Costello on the receiving end of a belly-to-belly suplex after barely knowing how to run the ropes, which was kind of just awkward. Every once in a while, you'll see an enhancement talent gets lost in there. Anyway, snap suplex. Owen Hart gets him over, and a big body slam and the like. Owen uses they end up using for a finish the rocket launcher. Neidhart launches Owen on top of the opponent, and there we go. Sid Justice is entered into the Royal Rumble. He talks about wanting to be the world champion, and the Justice will be served. The Big Boss Man entered into things as well, and obviously, Boss Man thinks that Law, Honor, and Justice would be served with himself as the world champion. Once again, the winner of the Royal Rumble will be your next WWF champion. The Barbarian entered into that. A nearly incomprehensible Colonel Mustafa promo is also included in this particular round of hype. And then we move to back to an enhancement match. This particular contest is the benefit of the model Rick Martel, who is returning. I don't know if he'd taken time off for sickness again or injury or what the heck the deal is, but he's back with Future Sights. Gets kicked off by the enhancement talent pretty easily. He nods along and is kind of a little more even keeled about being fair to the enhancement talent, which is kind of weird to see. Anyway, Irish whip and a leapfrog there, ultimately. And again, with all of that, we see a back elbow by Martel, and he's doing jumping jacks post match. Obviously, punch, kick, and a Boston Crab later, and Martel still is a regular force here in the World Wrestling Federation. We hear Tito Santana talking about the Royal Rumble, talking about ducking and dodging if needed. He will, in fact, eliminate whoever he needs to. Skinner says he knows how to fight and fight from behind. Duggan says fight, 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 get in the ring and eliminate everybody. And that is a Royal Rumble Event Center for you. Anyway, we move to another enhancement match this time. Big Boss Man, IRS, still his main house show adversary. And needless to say, that's not going well for IRS, one wouldn't imagine. Boss Man hits some punches, some kicks, and a few punches and offensive maneuvers from the enhancement talent himself. Sidewalk slam and a victory for the Boss Man in under about 3 minutes. Back to the event center we go. Gee, we spent a lot of time there. $1 Million Man says He's been in the beginning and the end of the Royal Rumble, but he wants to be the world champion. He's going to make that happen at the Rumble. Sergeant Slaughter says he knows what it's like to be the WWF champion and wants to return to the top of that mountain and plans to do so. Repo Man is up next in an enhancement match. He is crawling around on the outside, willing to cheat, sneak, and do just about anything. Actually, sends a knee into the midsection of his opponent on the outside of the ring, and basically implies that using his repossession hook is going to allow him to win against just about anybody. Then we see some kicks and really basic stuff. Eventually, a half crab from the Repo Man into a falling position is where we go. Chris Chavis, otherwise eventually known as Tatanka, talks about Native American heritage while holding a stick in front of some water. He talks about being proud of being a Native American, being proud of the land, and that being a big deal. Roddy Piper out there talking about wanting to get even with Ric Flair, talking about the dangers of The Undertaker, talking about wanting to win the Royal Rumble. Piper cuts a really good promo for the time, worth going out of your way to see this particular promo, of course, on the set of the funeral parlor. And Percy Pringle, a.k.a. Paul Bearer, makes that all worth it. Another, Royal Rumble report. Geez, feels like that's all we do. The Snake says he's going to win, but also he's looking for Randy Savage. If Savage can fight him, he likes being in Savage's head, and that is there as far as that's concerned. The Rockers back with the neon green and pink. So obviously their breakup doesn't happen until January. It's always interesting to me that they only were a team about 3.5 years, and the WWF feels like so much longer. This particular match, though, is a main event level match as the Legion of Doom puts the tag team championships on the line against the Rockers. Michaels starts with Animal. Animal obviously outpowers Michaels. Michaels, though, does outquick him upon occasion. Victory roll attempted by Jannetty, nearly gets a pinfall but doesn't get what he wants on it. Michaels is frustrated with the fact that they are not getting the victory wanted. The challengers, though, with a lot more pinning attempts, sunset flips, cross bodies, and the like. Hawk dominant of Michaels at the midpoint in the match, and a backdrop of their partners leads double super kicks, and it looks like the Rockers may actually be successful. Drop kick by Michaels of Jannetty into Animal. Animal turns that into a power slam, and they just barely sneak by. Michaels showing his temper and is very frustrated at the loss. He is completely unhappy and actually post-match slaps Marty Jannetty up in his face, tells him he's got to get his mind right, tells him he's got to get his head right. And then, they're having issues. Looks like the Rockers are headed for a breakup. Michaels makes the sign that he wanted to be the champion, and Michaels and Jannetty just about to go to blows, but they decide not to do it here. We move to the final Royal Rumble, event center. Greg Valentine says he wants to be the world champion. Jameson endorses the Bushwhackers and facing of the Beverly Brothers at the Royal Rumble 92. Jameson, I don't know. I don't know what the concept was there, but needless to say, he is very supportive of his friends from down under. Anyway, we will start 1992 in 2 Shakes of a Lamb's Tail, but we'll be back with more right after this.